All right. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Deanne Mazzochi. I'm the state representative for Illinois' 47th House District, and my hometown is Elmhurst. This morning, the Better Government Association released a startling investigative report. Despite Governor Pritzker's promises to not invest in companies with state contracts, he did invest in Centene Corporation, who has received billions of dollars in state contracts for Medicaid services. 30 ILCS 500/50-13A, our Conflicts of Interest statute, says that it is prohibited for any person holding elective office in the state to have or acquire any contract or any direct pecuniary interest in any contract that will be wholly or partially satisfied by the payment of funds appropriated by the General Assembly. So let's be clear, a pecuniary interest means the opportunity, directly or indirectly, to profit or share in any profit derived involving a transaction in a stock or security. Because of our ethics laws and our conflicts of interest laws, Governor Pritzker's campaign attorney, Mark Elias, wrote in an open memo, quote, "Illinois law prohibits Governor-elect Pritzker, his wife, his minor children, from having a direct financial interest in any contract that is funded with state dollars. Similarly, no company in which the governor-elect or his immediate family members hold certain ownership interests may enter into a contract with the state." Today, we know that despite his legal advice, the governor's not-so-blind trust actually did get an ownership interest in a company awarded a state contract worth billions of dollars. The time has come for the governor to come clean with the residents of Illinois and be open, honest, and fully transparent about his financial interests during his tenure, including what he owns, what got bought, what got sold, and he needs to back it up with honest records, including his full tax returns. Not just the first 2 pages, the full returns, and not just him personally, all of them, especially the domestic and overseas tax havens and the ones that fund his campaigns. Today, we know that the governor's not-so-blind trust owns a company getting massive state contracts. But what we don't know is what other Pritzker trusts or entities the governor benefits from also have state contracts, because he's kept that hidden so far. Now, Governor Pritzker has known about this problem since April of 2021, but he's still refusing to give straight answers about how this happened and what he's done in response. Is Northern Trust authorized to disclose this information? Did the stock ever get sold? If so, how much and when and who profited? If his trust still holds the stock today, how can that be and why? Back in 2019, he was warned he should tell his blind trust operators not to invest in any corporations that had state contracts. Why didn't that instruction get made? Because if it had, this shouldn't have happened. Governor Pritzker promised that he would not be invested in any state contractors, and he broke it not just in a little way, but with one of the biggest vendors in the state. To talk more about this vendor and what they do and who they are, I'd like to turn the floor over to State Representative Tony McCombie from Savannah, Illinois. Thank you.
Thank you. Obviously, this wouldn't be a story if there wasn't an obvious conflict of interest. Pritzker's representatives, nor managers of his trust, would say how much the investment in Centene is worth to the governor's bottom line. This is one of the largest state contracts in Illinois. Centene has made millions on serving our most vulnerable population under Medicaid. And it's not appropriate or ethical for the governor to be a known investor. As stated starting in 2019 and continuing through 2020, Centene faced antitrust concerns during its $17 billion, with a B, acquisition of a Medicaid insurer. And in September of 2020, the state enrolled 36,000 juvenile state wards to a Centene-controlled company amid concerns from foster parents and child welfare advocates. As I have stood here several times discussing DCFS, a director who has recently been held in contempt 4 times, DCFS caseworkers murdered while on the job. An agency the governor continuously fails to take action to reform. We have major concerns with his conflicts within DCFS, an agency that continues to be plagued by scandal and that he is linked directly to a company the governor is profiting from. It is time to answer to the people of Illinois and support our most vulnerable. It's not good to be profiting from the medical care and the hardships of our most vulnerable. And now I'll introduce Leader Tim Butler.
Thank you, Representative McCombie and Representative Mazzochi, for joining me here today. My name is Tim Butler. I'm a state representative from right here in Springfield. And today we see with this report from BGA the continuation of the governor continuing to break the promises that he's made to the people of Illinois. We talked about it a lot last year, his broken promises with redistricting, the fact that he promised he wasn't going to sign maps that were drawn by politicians, and he signed multiple maps drawn by politicians. Today, with this report, we see that he's broken his promise to the people of Illinois to be open and transparent, knowing about his conflicts of interest when it comes to his finances. And in fact, as governor-elect, his spokesperson said, he has taken steps to ensure that Illinois Governor's Office operates free of any financial conflict of interest and upholds the highest ethical standards during his term in office. That flies in the face of what we've learned today through this report. The way that the governor has opaquely operated his office through not only his trusts, quote-unquote trusts, that have now broken the trust of the people of Illinois, but also the way he operates his office through things like paying his staff through his own personal funds that we know nothing about. This really is something that is astounding when we look at it today, and it really raises a lot of questions about the governor's finances, his lack of transparency on this. What is he doing with this money? The $90 million he transferred to his campaign, where does that come from? There's a whole host of questions here today, and so this is something that we need to continue to be vigilant about. We need to continue to strengthen our ethics laws under this. I think this is really one of the things that comes out in this today. Other states operate in different manners than we do in Illinois when it comes to blind trusts, and that's something we really need to continue to take a look at. Ethics, as you know, is at the top of the agenda for the House Republicans. We're going to continue to push these issues and make sure that the governor is held accountable on these issues, on these things.